Hi, this is Josh Walters with Surefire Ag Systems, here to talk to you today about our high-pressure SureBatch, which is designed to inject liquid products into anhydrous ammonia. Early in 2016, customers came to us requesting a product that would inject into anhydrous ammonia. We'd launched the SureBatch several years before, and we're able to adapt it to handle injecting into a high-pressure anhydrous ammonia tank. Based on what those customers experienced this spring, they had suggestions for some improvements, which we've implemented, and we think those are really going to make this product excel in this application of injecting into anhydrous ammonia, and we're proud to announce those improvements today. The SureBatch consists of a pumping unit, which is typically located very close to the liquid that you're pumping. Often that's going to be a product that's delivered in a tote. And the controller station, which consists of the SureBatch touchscreen controller, and at customer request, we've added large push buttons. These are typically used in anhydrous ammonia plants where you've got to wear large safety gloves as a necessity, and so we needed these large 1-inch buttons that you can push with your gloves on to make it a really easy-to-use product. Next, we'll take a look at the controller itself and the screens and how the product operates. The SureBatch controller is enclosed in a metal enclosure, has a lid on it. That's just to protect it from any foreign object damage, perhaps a hailstorm. And then it opens up and that lid flips up, gives us an extra shade from overhead sun to help with any glare. The buttons are typically mounted right next to the controller. They could be separated further, but this is usually a good location for them. On the controller screen, you can see we have large digits against a dark background. That also helps with sunlight readability. The SureBatch is set up with 4 recipes. So we have 4 recipes, and those are saved at a half, 1, 1.5, and 2 gallons right now. So if I want to initiate recipe number 1, which is a half gallon, I'm going to push the number 1 button. So it loads the half-gallon recipe. It tells me it is on recipe number 1. And we're going to go ahead and count up until we get to our 0.5 gallons. At that point, it automatically shuts off. Now, if I then want to run a different recipe, recipe number 2, I need 1.5 gallons, or actually 1.0 gallons. I'm going to load recipe number 2. You can see that it loads 1 gallon. It also has a green run light here, so even in a noisy environment, I instantly know that the pump is fired up and we're running a batch. Again, we can watch, it counts up. I'm at a half a gallon, counting up to my 1.0 gallon batch. So we'll get to 1 gallon, we'll finish the batch. If I need to run a batch that's a different size, something in between, say I need 0.7 gallons. All I do is push the preset, type in 0.7, enter. 0.7 is in my batch set point, and I use my start button on the screen, and I will run a 0.7 gallon batch. Once again, my run light still comes on, even though I started it on the screen. So we'll go ahead and count that up and get to 0.7. When I need to create my recipes and save a batch, I've got 0.7, I just say save as recipe. And I say, well, instead of having that 0.5, I really need 0.7. So do I want to save that? Yes. And now if I go back to load recipes, you can see that I'm at 0.7 is recipe number 1. So that's a little bit about how the controller works and how easy it is to operate the fixed-rate high-pressure SureBatch. Finally, we'll look inside the back of the SureBatch to see the components that are actually doing this job. We start off, and we've got 10 feet of 3/4-inch hose that is included in the kits. That's also furnished with a 2-inch cam lock coupler, so it's ready to connect right up to the connector on a tote. Comes in through our inlet strainer, and then goes to our pump. The pump is a rotary vane pump. They're a compact pump that's capable of high pressures. This one is set for 250 psi relief pressure. A really good pump for this application. That pump is connected to a new 110-volt motor. This is a fully sealed motor that's fan-cooled, so it is suitable for outdoor operation and not going to be affected by any water that happens to get into the unit. After the pump, we come to a flow meter. This is an electromagnetic flow meter. It has no moving parts. SureFire's been using these for years in mobile applications. Because there are no moving parts, they cause very little trouble, and they're very accurate with the factory calibration numbers. From there, we come up, we've got a pressure gauge, so we can just assess what the pressure is, very handy in knowing how the unit's performing. We come out, we have a check valve, so that the anhydrous ammonia can't be forced back through the system, and then we come out to a high-pressure hose that's 20 feet long that can go directly to an anhydrous tank, but is more often plumbed into the customer's anhydrous fill station so they can fill anhydrous and liquid all in one step. So those are the components in high-pressure SureBatch that are actually doing the work. Along with the high-pressure SureBatch, we have a couple of accessories that we can include too. The first of those is a small handheld remote control. It works in conjunction with the push button, so you can have both. If it's easier to carry that in your pocket and actuate a batch or something, just whatever is easiest for the operator to use. We also have two plumbing assemblies that are the Acme connection for hooking directly to an anhydrous ammonia tank. We've got a check valve here to keep anhydrous from going back down the hose. We've got a bleeder valve so we can drain off that anhydrous when we hook it. And we've got both an 1 3/4 and a 2 1/4 Acme connection. So that's a quick summary of the high-pressure SureBatch with the improvements that we've made to it. It'll be a great system for injecting liquid into anhydrous ammonia. It's accurate, easy to use, and very durable. If you have any further questions, please give us a call at SureFire Ag Systems, and we'd be glad to talk to you. Thank you.